The lottery ticket I bought won the jackpot. My husband, however, lied to me about not winning. A few days later in the late afternoon, I was helping him sort out his clothes when I found the lottery ticket. When he wasn't home, I changed the lottery ticket back. I remembered that my husband said to me earlier, "Let's go for a prenuptial agreement. In case you win the lottery someday, I will definitely not rob with you." Sure. Don't go back on your word. My husband win.So and I got married as soon as we graduated from university. I work as a homemaker, but I take good care of the house. win.So doesn't have a high salary, but he's down to earth and reliable. We both have a get-rich-quick dream. But I only dare to dream. win.So, on the other hand, has made getting rich his goal in life. He likes to buy stocks, but he loses as much as he buys. I like to buy a few lottery tickets once in a while and only buy fixed numbers. When win.So came home from grocery shopping in the afternoon, he turned off the TV in a hurry. I remembered that he was checking the winning lottery numbers before I left home and casually asked, "What are the winning numbers today?" win.So looked sad. "Too bad, honey. Today's winning number is just one number away from the ticket you bought. Its tail number is 050. And yours is 051. My movement to take off my shoes stopped violently. But I've always bought only the 4 tickets from 047 to 050. How could I not have one? My mind was a bit confused. And after scanning around the sofa and desktop, I pulled open the drawer in the bedside table. But I couldn't find those lottery tickets. I looked at win.So and asked, "Where are my lottery tickets?" win.So looked left and right, but did not dare to look directly at me. "Ah, can't you find it? I took it out this morning and looked at it. Maybe I forgot where I put it. I may have forgotten where I put it. Don't worry. I'll take a break tomorrow and help you look for it." I sighed. I helplessly said to win.So, "This is the way it has to be." The next morning, win.So really found the lottery ticket. "You see, there's just one number missing. I really didn't win. But if you're lucky enough to win, well, just buy another ticket next time. It's not a big deal. We're sure to win." And so the $20 million lottery ticket was lost. win.So, who usually feels pain when he spends $10, comforted me for the first time. I took a look at the ticket, and there was really one number missing. Maybe the clerk got the wrong one this time. I had to resign myself to my fate. At that moment, win.So pulled my hand, his eyes glittering with excitement. "Listen to me. Let's go for a prenuptial agreement. In case you win the lottery someday, my husband will definitely not compete with you." I couldn't help but be touched. "No need, hubby. What's mine is yours." Do couples still need to talk about that? Even brothers keep clear accounts. win.So said, "Let's do the notarization." We both feel relieved. My heart thumped. I didn't feel comfortable. But win.So said so. I cannot say anything. So we did the couple prenuptial agreement. No matter how old, sick or dead, or divorced, we will not divide each other's property. After getting the notarized certificate, win.So's mouth arc can't be suppressed. Instead, she treats me better. Every day when she comes home from work, she will bring me a cup of bubble tea or help me do housework. After putting away the clothes, I was bored and swiped through the chat logs of the part-time job group. A new message popped up in the group. User A. I'll share with you the strange thing I encountered 2 days ago. Someone asked me to make a counterfeit lottery ticket. User B. What kind? User A. And the lottery ticket that won the jackpot 2 days ago. Just missing a number. User C. What's the situation? What do you want to do with that? User A. Maybe to trick someone. I don't know. The man looks quite honest. User B. Is he still honest? User A. Don't believe me. He looks really honest. I'll show you. The next second. He sent a surveillance video to the group. At this point I picked up one of Ethan Su's wrinkled socks. Shook it vigorously. And suddenly a small piece of paper came out from it. I picked it up and saw if it wasn't the winning lottery ticket. I was stunned by this sudden surprise. And my hand shook as I clicked into the group's video. Ethan Su's face appeared on the screen. It seems that I really did buy the right ticket. That lottery ticket with the tail number 050 is the one that I bought home. And you lied to me that you bought the wrong one. It's obvious that you want to swap my lottery ticket. Fine. Since you like to change it, I'll change it back for you. I took out the counterfeit lottery ticket that I put in my nightstand and changed the one on it to 0 a little bit. Then I switched the real counterfeit lottery ticket back. But I had just packed up my messy clothes when Ethan Su suddenly rushed into the house. Why are you touching my things? He yelled at me in horror. I looked back at him. I'm helping you clean up. He looked at the pile of clothes half-heartedly and then at me. What's wrong? Honey. Is there something you can't show me? No. Nothing. I just see that you are working too hard and I am afraid that you are tired. Ethan Su took back his clothes and picked up one piece at a time, touching this and that. After he touched the lottery ticket hidden in his sock, his face eased up. Let's go. I'll take a shower first. He smiled at me and went back to his room, clutching his clothes. Ethan Su went to bed early that night. Where would he have been so peaceful in the past? Mostly he would pester to be close to me. He yawned. I'm really tired from work today. I'm going to sleep first. Hee. If he didn't have an affair, I would have choked to death on my rice. I started pretending to be asleep, secretly keeping an eye on Ethan Su. In fact, I was so nervous. I don't know how long I stayed up. But Ethan Su tiptoed out of bed. 2 minutes later, the sound of him talking on the phone rang in the bathroom. I heard Ethan Su say, "Let's go to the Maldives for a few days and then come back to collect the prize money. I'm not going to touch that Anna he woman. I've missed you so much. My little no." Ethan Su spoke in a sweet tone. But I was sickened with goosebumps. So this dog is hooking up with my bestie Nina Jiang. No wonder he was so eager to pull me into a prenuptial agreement. I didn't move and rolled over, not jumping up to confront this cheater. I just wanted to see what other tricks they wanted to play. Until the next day, when I saw Ethan Su's text message about his business trip, and Nina Jiang's beach trip photo in my circle of friends. Sunshine, sandy beaches, and the person I love by my side. I couldn't hold it in any longer. The anger in my chest was about to turn into a fireball and explode out. The scummy man and woman cheated me out of my feelings. Even if I get my lottery ticket back, there's no way I'm letting them off the hook. While they were out of the country, I immediately flew to State Lottery Center and claimed my prize. A week later in the evening, I came home with a bunch of luxury goods and saw Ethan Su at the door. He took out a lung cancer test report and claimed that he didn't want to drag me down. And then, let's get divorced. I wish you could find someone better. And then, I don't know what to do. He covered his face and began to cry. I'm only 29 years old. I thought I would have a bright future. I never thought I would get this disease. I love you very much. But I can't drag down the person I love the most. Watching him sell his act, I found it funny and reached for his test report. Instead, he dodged it with a sidestep. What are you doing? Ethan Su was vain and spoke in an unconsciously loud voice. I want to help you look at it. I'm afraid you'll be sad alone. I had a plan and helped Ethan Su sit on the sofa. Yen Yang, I won't leave you. Since you have this disease, I will definitely accompany you on the last journey of your life. Ethan Su's forehead was covered in a fine layer of sweat, looking a little anxious. I held back my anger and sarcasm in my heart. You just hold it in. Let's see how long you can hold it in. But I was too high on win.So. He was more subdued than I thought and asked me directly. Anan, what exactly will you do to get a divorce? Of course I want a divorce. But I can't take the blame. He tried to steal my lottery ticket. So it's not too much for me to take his house. Right? I really don't want to drag you down. Let's just get a divorce. You can find someone better. I pretended to be aggravated. But I don't want you to get a divorce. I pretended to be aggravated. But we have been married for so many years. I have no savings. Divorced, have no place to live. Yen Yang. I don't mind you. Let's continue to be together. I secretly pinched my thigh. Hard pain out 2 tears. win.So was in a hurry. Okay. It'll help you think of a solution. In fact, it is not too much for me to ask for a house. I've been married for 6 years. And I've been serving him as a housekeeper. Plus, I didn't ask for a dowry at the time of the wedding. I've wasted 6 years of my youth for nothing. Isn't that worth a sweet? While pretending to sleep, win.So hid in the bathroom and called Nina Jiang. Xiao Nua. This house is only $1 million. Which is nothing compared to the lottery. Let's get it over with and stop procrastinating. I laughed out loud. The next day, win.So took me to the closing. When he walked out of the real estate center, he had a look of determination on his face. Anan, the divorce petition has been filed. We are strangers from now on. I hope you are doing well. After saying that, he left with a somewhat fluttering footsteps. Just as he left, I dialed Nina Jiang's phone number. win.So has lung cancer. And he divorced me, she said. I had learned of a few good stocks and wanted to take him with me. But he's dying. I don't know what to do. Anne, why don't you tell him? Maybe he'll get better when he's happy. I laughed. This is you guys bumping into the gun. I arrived at Nina Jiang's house. win.So answered the door in his wrinkled shirt, cursing. Who the hell knocked on the door? You're ruining my day. I pulled out a smile and poked my head out from behind the door. Yen Yang? Why are you here? win.So froze. And Nina Jiang heard the commotion and came out as well. They froze in place. There was no movement for a while. Only a lack of knowing what to do. In the end, it was Nina Jiang who reacted first. He was afraid that you would be too upset. So he came here to let me guide you more. win.So awkwardly said yes in a row. And only then did I show an expression of sudden realization and walked in to sit on the sofa. Those two thought I wasn't paying attention and were still eyeballing each other in the doorway. Yuck. Cheating couple can be so shameless. I cleared my throat and began to smile as I explained my intentions. win.So's eyes lit up with longing. Anan, why didn't you tell me earlier if you have this kind of doorway? Anan, thank you. Don't be anxious. It's not here to send you to hell. I was introduced by my relatives, who saw me as a poor divorced man and gave me a couple of stocks that are sure to make a profit, said win.So. win.So was getting happier and happier. The corners of his mouth were grinning up to his ears. I stroked the luxury bag I just bought the day before. This is a great return. But it's a pity that I don't have enough capital. Otherwise I would have invested more. win.So and Nina Jiang looked at each other and asked me tentatively. Is $2 million enough? It seems that they have already hit on that lottery ticket. But if they know now that the lottery ticket is fake, it won't be fun. I frowned. 2 million, so much is definitely enough. At least it can be doubled. It's a pity that the wave has to be invested in 2 days. Otherwise I can raise more money. If they have to go to the lottery center in the provincial capital to cash in their prizes, it will take more than 2 days to go back and forth. win.So sighed hard. Looking at him in deep thought, I knew that he had taken my words in. As long as he doesn't go to redeem the lottery ticket for a while. Things were just getting funnier and funnier. After coming out of Nina Jiang's house, I contacted the owner of a loan shark. Sent the cheating couple's contact information. After that, I went back to Nina Jiang's door and leaned on the door to eavesdrop. Sure enough, she was arguing with win.So. What do you mean you've been staring at her? Tell me. Do you regret it? Don't forget that you're the one who stole the lottery ticket. Don't forget that you stole the lottery ticket before. If you dare to apologize to me, I'll tell the whole world about it. win.So's heart and eyes are full of his get-rich-quick dream now. So he has no time to pay attention to Nina Jiang. He said in an impatient tone. Didn't you break up someone else's family too? Neither of us is cleaner than the other. So I suggest you stop. I laughed out loud when I heard the loud and clear slap. Nina Jiang's voice rose to a high pitch and roared. win.So. You asshole. If you regret it, I'll tell the world that you had sex with me before marriage. And see if they still want you. You had sex before marriage? I was sick to my stomach. So I didn't realize that their affair had started so long ago. Listening to the sound, the two people seemed to be wrestling again. I didn't want to listen to it and left this disgusting place. A day later, win.So sent me a screenshot of a bank card balance of $300,000. Is this enough? I pretended to be puzzled. Isn't there 2 million? The opposite side showed several times in the process of inputting. Bank card limit. Only this much. I smiled. Only so much does not matter. I hope he won't look too bad when he's forced to pay back by loan shark. win.So didn't go to redeem the lottery ticket. The desire to get rich has made him lose his mind. And he can't wait for it to happen as fast as possible. The sword of greed would eventually strike him squarely in the heart. With just a few words, he was induced to owe $300,000 in loan shark. Luckily, I divorced this scumbag. I hired a stock trading expert. After asking for advice many times, I told win.So to buy a stocks of $300,000. In just a few days, the $300,000 capital made more than $200,000. Nearly doubled the gains. win.So happy as a 200 pounds of children. It is also strange. Obviously his lung cancer is pretending to be sick. But the whole person can be seen with the naked eye slimming down. Even the cheekbones are prominent. And then, it's really great to have you. Nina Jiang wanted to come and get a piece of the action even though she was red-eyed with jealousy. And then, I don't have a lot of savings. Is it enough to buy $200,000? I want to buy some too. You can't not take me for a ride. She wanted to get herself killed. Of course I wouldn't stop her. For the next 10 days, stocks were in a constant state of rising. The victory overwhelmed them and made them more and more inflated. When I saw them again, Nina Jiang's eyes were glowing. I never thought stock trading would be so easy. And then, why didn't you take me to play with this kind of way before? And then, why didn't you bring me to play with this kind of business in the past? Or did you hide it on purpose? Just to see me poor? Of course. I didn't take this kind of words as unheard. And directly threw a cup of coffee on her face. In Nina Jiang's resentful eyes, I was furious. Do you know how to speak? I'll take you guys to get rich as soon as I know the way. I was the first to bring you a fortune when I found out the way. I'm a good friend. From now on, I'll play stocks by myself and never take you with me again. One sentence instantly doused Nina Jiang's anger. win.So glared at her with dissatisfaction. Then hesitantly took out his cell phone and transferred $20,000 to me. And then, calm down. Don't get angry. I feigned incomprehension. What does this mean? Ethan Su gritted his teeth and piled a smile on his face. Teaching a man to fish is not as good as teaching him to fish. Anen. Thank you. Speaking at the emotional point, Ethan Su came over with a skinny face. You can't leave me alone. Is there any better stocks? Nina Jiang was staring at him, her lips biting out blood. I laughed softly and put my arms around Ethan Su's neck. Still want to play? Ethan Su's expression wasn't very natural, but his greedy eyes didn't diminish at all. Yes. Anen. You see, I've been poor all my life. I can finally fulfill my dream before I die. And I have more than $800,000 of capital now. He was eager to get my words. But I didn't pick up on it. You're going to die. Who do you want to leave all that money to? He smiled and coaxed me for a while until a wide array of food was served. While I feasted, Nina Jiang held her anger in her stomach and didn't dare to say a word. Aren't you going to eat? Ethan Su swallowed and was about to move his chopsticks when his face suddenly turned strange. I secretly swept a glance to the side. Goodness. Nina Jiang, who was sitting across the table, actually stretched her legs over and teased Ethan Su under the table. Nina Jiang's eyes were winking at Ethan Su. And then she wiggled her waist towards the bathroom. Ethan Su was eager to follow. But I put a chopstick in his bowl and he sat back down. You should eat more or less. Even if you can't. He barely tugged at the corner of his mouth, hesitated for a moment and then picked up his chopsticks and ate. Until Nina Jiang came back with a cold face. My eyes darkened. And I waited for Ethan Su to drink his soup before I gossiped. Xiao Nua. You're not getting any younger. It's time for you to find a boyfriend. Nina Jiang's face gradually became ugly. Ethan Su also choked and coughed repeatedly. I look at Nina Jiang with a smile. Don't keep dragging your feet. Wait until you're older. You'll have to find some second marriage or older men. Those second marriage man. It is unlikely that they have cheated and divorced. Cheating this kind of thing. There is a one. There are two. Who cannot say ah. You say yes. The more I said, the more ugly the face of those two people. Ethan Su. You are a man. You should know men best. Don't you think so? He coughed non-stop, not daring to look me in the eye at all. Nina Jiang kicked the table with force, her face expressionless. I don't need you to worry about my matters. I nodded my head in understanding. I liked her most when she looked at me like she couldn't stand me but couldn't do anything about it. Unexpectedly at this moment, Ethan Su covered her mouth and rushed to the bathroom. Nina Jiang anxiously followed her. And I followed her ass. When I got to the door, I saw Ethan Su holding the sink, coughing to death, even coughing up blood. I looked at him again. Yan Yang. You look like you're really sick. Did the doctor say how long you have to live? Can you make it to the new year? Ethan Su's hand gripped the sink so hard that his veins rippled. I couldn't help but look forward to it. You two have to hang in there. The best is yet to come. After dinner. In response to their repeated questions, I put on a pained face and said, Okay. I'll tell you. Recently there is a stocks rising very fierce. My relatives told me that this stocks at least can rise to the new year. Many people are lone stock trading. The two of them slapped their thighs and couldn't hide the surprise on their faces. There is such a good thing. Really? I breathed a sigh of relief. You do not believe in the best. My relatives said that this stock's 20 years hard to see. None of you with me to grab the opportunity to get rich. The more I acted eagerly, the more credible they felt. The last time stocks were in the red, they were already obsessed. 2 days later, Nina Jiang and Ethan Su showed up at my house. When I saw Ethan Su again, I almost thought I had seen a ghost. His eye sockets were deeply sunken and there was not a trace of blood on his face. There were also circles of green stubble growing around his mouth. The most frightening thing was that his hair was falling out in big clumps. I even guessed that he was afraid of my suspicion and deliberately acted for me to see. He looked like he hadn't eaten for a few days. And there was a greedy light in his eyes. And then, I have $3.8 million here. I'll put it all in. And I'll put it in the one you mentioned. Greed knows no bounds. He took out a loan of $3 million this time. I smiled and applauded. You've got guts. Stock trading is hard to make money. But losing money is easier than breathing. The two of them put all their money into buying that stocks. The first week it went up. The second week it went up. They were so happy that they thought their lives were about to be on top. So win.So and Nina Jiang started to buy every day. win.So took out a loan to buy a $1 million Mercedes. Nina Jiang bought countless models of clothes, jewelry and designer bags. They put their money in the stock market to continue to appreciate, only to see it plummet on the first day of the third week. I couldn't control my laughter. What should I do? Together, the two had invested $3.8 million. Because they were so ambitious. They also added leverage. Overnight, they lost $3.8 million. Oh, no. More than $3.8 million. Their two expenses are too big. Half a month. Direct loans to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, they've lost their pants. And that lottery ticket is still fake. How can they pay it back? I pulled out the cell phone card. Sleep a warm and peaceful. I even had a beautiful dream. In my dream, that scumbag couldn't take the shock and actually got lung cancer. Lying half dead on the hospital bed. Nina Jiang left him and ran away with another man. I woke up laughing the next day. There were 50 missed calls on my cell phone and countless messages. Where are you? Didn't you say the stocks would go up until New Year's? Why did you lose everything in just 3 weeks? Anna did you screw me? I borrowed the money from Loan Shark. Why did you do that to me? Aren't we husband and wife? Nina Jiang's messages were even more abusive. Bitch. You don't wait for me to find you. I told you I hadn't made any money with me for so many years. How could the sun come out of the west? Now I owe several $1 million. You say how to settle it. Why don't you open the door? I'll kill you. Before the message was finished, another call came in from win.So. Anna you finally answered the phone. Have you checked your cell phone? Why did stocks lose all their money in one night last night? Say something. Didn't you tell me that you could make a profit without losing money? Why did it suddenly turn out like this? I pulled out my ears impatiently. win.So's voice was too loud. You're sick. Right? Who told you it's a sure thing? The stock market is already risky. Who dares to tell you that it's a sure thing? Have you not prepared yourselves for this? win.So was dumbfounded by my dislike. While Nina Jiang was so defensive that she greeted my whole family from across the room. I made myself a cup of coffee and waited for her dog to finish barking before I spoke slowly. Xiao Nua. Why do you always stay with my ex-husband? Is it possible that you two are having an affair? She was so furious that her sanity had long been thrown into the trash can. So she blurted out without thinking. What do you think? Asshole. We've been together for a long time. Not only did I have an affair with him, but I'm the reason you're getting divorced. I'm not only having an affair with him, but you're divorcing because of me. How about that? Are you angry? I laughed softly and interrupted her barking. Only one sentence. Do you want to borrow money from me to pay back the loan shark? win.So looked like a drowning man grabbing for driftwood. Yes. Yes. I do. Baby. Don't listen to her. She's crazy about stocks. I didn't do you wrong. Anne. My Anne. I'm going to die. Can you bear to see me leave my parents with a pile of debt after I die? I beg you to do me a favor. In front of the huge debt. Nina Jiang's mouth is not hard anymore. I'm sorry, Anan. I was out of my mind. I purposely pissed you off. There's nothing going on between Su and I. I laughed out loud without a care in the world. Nina Jiang. Feel it. Right? I'm not only good looking. I also have the strength to make you apologize anytime. Anywhere. Steal my husband. Terminal lung cancer man. If you want it, they'll give it to you. I hung up before the other party could break the defense again and blacklisted both of them. But bad luck. Of course. Will not let go of this cheating couple so easily. As soon as I hung up, I grabbed my car keys and headed out the door. Last night I called the people who put up the loan shark. They knew Sustock lost money in trading. They should be looking for them. Counting the time. It's almost time. How could I miss such a famous scene? When I arrived, the two men were being pressed by some big man on the ground. The gangsters were tearing their clothes and cursing. Where's the money? Where's my money? Two people lying on the ground shivering. Big brother. My side has a small situation. Cannot forgive me for a few more days. Before finishing his sentence, the gang leader grabbed Su's collar and slapped him. Su's skinny cheeks were immediately covered with 5 bright red fingerprints. How many days? How many days did you say? When you borrowed the money. You said it was a good deal. Saying that you would borrow $3 million and pay me back $6 million. Now where's my money? That's bullshit. After saying that, he took the knife handed over by his sidekick. The gang leader's hand raised the knife. And the blade cut a bloody scar on Su's face. And screams flew out of his mouth. Su desperately shrank into the corner. While Nina Jiang screamed in fear and fainted with her eyes rolled back in her head. The gang leader pulled Nina Jiang's hair like a dead dog. Don't fucking play dead. If you don't pay back the money, I'll sell you and your man to Southeast Asia to chop off your hands and feet. Su knelt on the ground and kowtowed to the big man. His lips were trembling and he was so scared that he even shivered when he spoke. Brother. Don't. I can really get the money. You give me 4 days. I will definitely pay back. I will pay back 6 million. Please spare my life. Don't kill me. A few punks nodded toward the big brother. That big brother sneered and lifted his foot to ruthlessly crush Su's palm. You better not be stalling for time. Remember. You only have 4 days. Be a good boy and pay back the money and nothing will happen. If you dare to run away, I can find you even if you turn into ashes. And I laughed so hard I couldn't even stand up straight. It's the first time I've asked for money and it's so intense. If they found out Su couldn't pay back the money at all, they would have raised the roof. Seeing how badly they were beaten up, I kindly got off the bus to show my concern for them. At that moment, they were still lying on the ground. Like 3-day-old fish. They each wiped their own tears and cursed and blamed the other. I ruffled my hair. And hadn't taken more than a few steps when I heard Nina Jiang erupt into a mournful scream again. What are you doing? I retracted one of my legs. Sorry. Accidentally stepped on your stomach. As soon as they saw that it was me, intense hatred erupted in both of their eyes. Nina Jiang, who was less injured, stared at me with bull's eyes and questioned me. How dare you come here? How dare you come here after what you did to us? If you don't pay us $10 million, this won't be over. I nodded deeply, but I couldn't hold back my laughter. $10 million? Do you deserve it? She screamed and jumped up to hit me. But I clamped down on her hands and slapped her across the face. One slap wasn't enough. So I sat on top of her and slapped her face from side to side. A few slaps down and I seemed to shake a lot of water out of her brain. You think I don't know that you two have been hooking up for a long time? Nina Jiang. You like slutting around other people's husbands so much. Don't you? win.So. You can eat anything dirty and smelly. You guys owe me to expose your skins. If you want to follow me and get rich, wait for your next life. win.So's face was covered in blood at the moment. But when he heard my words, he threw his head back and laughed. Ha 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 ha. Anna did you think we were finished? Ha 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 ha. I shook my head. It's over. Not only are we done, we're sick in the head too. He raised his eyebrows and sneered. I won the lottery. I didn't expect it. I won $20 million. You'll never catch up in your life. I laughed lightly. Really? That's a real congratulations to him. I hope they won't be too disappointed when they find out that they can't redeem the lottery ticket. win.So had his face broken and Nina Jiang was walking with a limp. Neighbors know that these two have been hit on the door by debt collectors. And there's a lot of talk. But they flaunt the fact that they are going to live a good life. A big prize was waiting for them to collect. The neighbors laughed at the two men for being sick in the head. They laughed back and told these dog-eyed things to stop barking. 3 days later, I looked at the hot search and saw several entries at a glance. A young couple made a scene at the lottery center. A man took a counterfeit lottery ticket he made and asked the lottery center to cash in $20 million. I watched several related videos carefully. Finally, I was able to connect the dots in my mind. win.So took Nina Jiang and went to the provincial capital by high-speed train. When they arrived at the lottery center, they were told by the staff. This prize was already cashed in a long time ago. It's been almost 2 months. win.So slammed the table. I'm the only one who won the jackpot. How can anyone else redeem it? The staff patiently explained. It's really been claimed. We have surveillance cameras to prove it. One ticket. One claim. There's no mistaking it. win.So's face turned red with anger. And the centipede-like scars snaked across his face, making it even more frightening. His face became redder and redder as his blood rushed up. win.So was so anxious that he stomped his feet and smashed everything in the store. The staff stepped forward to stop them. Stop it. If you question our prize redemption process, you can go through the legal procedures. If you continue, we really have to call the police. How dare you call the police? I'll call the police only if my lottery ticket has been hacked by you. He even accused others of hacking his lottery ticket. In the end, the police really called the police. And they handcuffed him and Nina Jiang. The police handcuffed both him and Nina Jiang. Like 2 street rats. The next day, a new message popped up in that part-time job group. It was the same guy as before. You guys say it's strange. Last time let me do counterfeit lottery ticket that man. WeChat looking for me. What are you doing this time? The man also praised me for my good craftsmanship and asked me to send him to the provincial capital. Be careful. If something happens, you won't be able to get away with it. Don't worry. I told him. I'm specialized in making props for entertainment use only. And I did my duty to inform him. Swiping these messages, I knew that there was going to be a good show. I immediately bought a ticket for the latest flight abroad. Then I packed my bags and took a cab. And went straight to the airport. All the way without a hitch. Sure enough, win.So was mad. He showed up at the lottery center with a counterfeit lottery ticket. I don't think anyone will come to cash in this time. Right? Come on. Cash me in. I've got the jackpot. The staff at the lottery center looked at each other. One stalled win.So while the other called the police. Soon, the sirens got closer to the lottery center. And the police got out of the car and arrested win.So again. However, win.So resisted to the death and eventually fainted. And the police car he was supposed to get into turned into an ambulance. The diagnosis from the hospital came out. He was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. Pretending to be sick turned into a real disease. He couldn't accept the shock and became crazy. But he couldn't figure out why the lottery ticket, which was obviously real, turned out to be fake. When he called me, I was lying on the beach of the island sunbathing. He sounded arrogant. I and Xiao Nua owed a few million. I want not much. As long as you help us to pay the debt. And then help me to cure the disease. And then return my house to me. I will not report your collection counterfeit lottery ticket. I smiled and said to him. Then you report me. He was visibly stunned. WH. What? I didn't buy any counterfeit lottery tickets. You're full of shit. The lottery said it was fake. You bought a ticket. His words came to an abrupt end. I pushed up my sunglasses and took a sip of my orange juice. Yeah. You swapped out my ticket. But I found it in your sock and swapped it back in. win.So was so angry that his breath was labored. The look as if she was going to break in the next second and add to the demographic cause of hell. But that's not enough. You don't know that your little Noah baby is in love with a 50-something coal boss. And he's already taken her away with him. She said. As for you, you're just a loser. He was so angry that he stuttered. You wait for me. I will find you at the end of the world. I didn't panic at all and just hung up the phone. Now he really wants to find me. I'm afraid that he can't even afford to buy a plane ticket. Right? win.So began to hide. In order not to be found by the gangsters. He could only go to sleep in a bridge hole. And I bathed in the sunshine. The sea breeze brushed by. And the air was full of the scent of freedom. I must say, Phuket in January is really a vacation spot. The breeze and warmth. The sun is just right. Live up to the good years. I recorded the beautiful scenery with my camera. Then washed the photos and asked my friend to send them to win.So under the flyover. According to my friend, he cried and laughed after receiving the photos. And his lips turned grayish black. He looked sicker. I didn't have much of a reaction. Maybe everything was his retribution. win.So also counted on a taste of it. But unfortunately he never repented. I spent more than 2 months in Phuket. When I came back, the snow and ice had long melted and flowers were in full bloom. I used to study floriculture and opened a flower store when I returned home. Every day living with the flowers. The flower store is not large, but beautiful enough. I saved the rest of the money on a regular basis. Growing up, my family's condition is not good. I do not have much investment mind. And do not want to take risks. Just when I was in full swing preparing for the opening of the flower store, my cell phone rang. It was the police. I answered the phone. The police told me that win.So's body was found under the flyover and asked me to go and claim it. I hung up the phone. Quite good. Then let him go and add to the population of hell. The life of a free and rich woman now is what I deserve.